Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. We're so glad that you're able to attend today because this episode of the Bellwether podcast is timely and relevant, especially now at the time of this pandemic. So, for today's host, I'm Jan.
And I'm Christian, and we're first-year psychology students from Asia Pacific College. So before move on, partner, I would like to introduce yung mga gagandaan at nagwagapuhan nating mga participants, starting with Bryant Kent Terrado, Kayla Coseteng, Angelika Tagupa, and then Margarette Tomboc. Yun nga, partner, na-introduce na natin ang ating mga participants. So if I may ask you, ano nga ba ang goal natin for doing this podcast?
Well, partner, to answer that, our aim is to help reduce nga no, yung antisocial internet behavior of those internet users by nurturing their media literacy skills. But before we move on to that, gusto ko lang tanungin yung ating dear participants if kamusta sila ngayon. Yes.
So open, can you unmute po?
Kindly unmute your mic po.
How are you po?
I'm feeling good
So,
po.
Ayos lang naman po.
thank you.
Hi.
How about Miss Marga?
Hello.
I am feeling good po.
How about Miss Kayla Coseteng?
Kayla.
Kayla.
Feeling good po.
Oh, I see. So everyone is feeling great naman. Partner.
Angelica.
How about Miss Angelika po? How are you feeling?
Doing well po. Thank you for having me here today. Hope you're doing well too.
Okay, thank you. So partner, lahat sila is feeling great naman. Right?
Yeah. I hope they do, partner. And if you're still waiting for the sign to do something you love, this is it. Do what makes you happy.
Well, I have to agree with that, partner, no? I hope people online can just give motivation to one another. Especially on social media kasi, let's be honest, there are so much things na social media will demotivate us talaga and make us feel na hindi pa enough yung mga bagay na ginagawa natin. Just like keeping up with the trend, I know naman talaga some people use social media para makiusap talaga. Well, lahat naman tayo, char, joke. But kidding aside, social media is toxic talaga. Pag hinayaan mong kainin ka neto, so lalabas talaga lahat ng mga insecurities mo which nakaka-demotivate talaga sa atin and nakaka-down. But of course, let's know that na social media is everything on social media is filtered na, and do not ever let compare yourself to others, especially on social media. Right, partner?
That's actually true, partner. And it's really saddening. Pero we're here na nga to lessen those, di ba? And if I may ask everyone, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube? Okay, how about Kayla po? What social media platforms do you often use po?
Instagram. Tsaka minsan Facebook.
Okay. Facebook. So how about Sir Brian?
Insta din. Insta tsaka Facebook, YouTube. Dahil doon ako nag-i-stream Kadalas Facebook.
Oh, stream. Okay, makapalo nga na yan next time kapag may spare na time ako. How about po Miss Margarette?
I often use Facebook po and Twitter.
I guess everyone here is different kasi personally I often use Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter din. Pero aside of with those three, I often use Facebook and Instagram. Yeah. And some of us has different reason, but at least we can relate to each other. For some, right, partner?
Yes, most of us mention what social media platforms we often use and why. Pero do we actually know how to use it properly, partner?
I was wondering the same thing, partner. Like, how do we normally use social media? That's the purpose. Kasi ako, I use social media to be updated, to be on trend, and to communicate with other people. How about Miss Angelika Tagupa? What's your purpose in
Usually,
using social media?
di na ako masyadong social media, pero since na doon nga yung mga pinopost sa school, minsan doon yung preferred outlet ng mga teachers para magbigay ng requirements. And yun. Tapos to communicate na rin with my friends. So that's my main purpose.
How about again po, Mr. Bryant?
Same, to communicate with my friends and especially to stream also for me because Facebook is one of the free platforms to use for streaming and sometimes yeah for academic purposes only. That's all.
Uh, about po Miss Kayla?
Feel ko same lang din to communicate with my friends and yung family ko. Tapos since nga sa pandemic, mas frequent na yung mga ginagamit ng mga prof yung Facebook, minsan for communication purposes din sa mga estudyante. Pati pag-post din sa mga Facebook groups, ganon. So, it's mostly for school na din yung ginagamit ko for Facebook, then posting. Yung pang-post ko na lang yung Instagram, pang-update, keeping up with the trends, ganun. Yun lang. Same lang din with other people.
Well, that's interesting, no, partner, don't you think? Kasi
Yes.
people have this perception na we just use social media to communicate in general. But in reality, it's actually more than that. Because in my case, I use social media not just to interact with other people or communicate, but I use social media to be updated and to gather informations na makakatulong rin sa akin in the future and para maging aware lang din tayo sa mga paligid natin, especially now at the time of this pandemic. Kasi there are instances na I encounter people online who just spread fake news and so much negativity. And I know it's not just me naman, di ba? Kasi most of us here experience something bad while using social media, right, partner?
Yes, I can actually relate to that. Before my first Facebook was hacked, I think 10 years ago. And then after 3 years, yung existing Facebook ko, pinalitan niya ng pangalan niya, yung hacker, and then pinalitan niya rin ng profile picture. For me, that's a hit na sa akin yun kasi during those years, I don't know kung ano yung mga pinagagawa niya sa account ko. First of all, personal information, and then it can use as an extortion device or account para humingi ng pera sa family members. And ayun, medyo it makes me worrisome in those years. Pero ayun na nga, sinabi ko na lang sa family ko na kasi marami sa akin nagme-message talaga na i-block na lang, i-report yung account, and ignore na lang. Doon ko na lang pinunta yung experience ko. Pero within that, syempre kinakabahan ako kung anong pwedeng gawin niya kasi nga it will lead to some crucial cases kapag ginamit talaga yung account mo. So if I may ask our guest, what bad experiences have you encountered online? Like anyone po? Anyone? How about Miss Margaret?
Can we hear your voice po, Miss Margarette Tomboc?
I can't recall a time po na naka-experience ako ng something bad sa social media.
Okay. Okay. How about um, Miss Miss Kayla? Sorry.
Go
How
lang.
about you?
Wala akong personal experience, pero from a friend siguro, not really going into detail, pero yung mga sa Facebook, yung mga trash talkan, yung mga ganong nag-trend, parang I think in the start of the quarantine or parang pa-transition sa pandemic, may other trash
The
talkan.
online rambulan,
Oo,
something.
something like
Ganun ba
that.
yun?
Parang gumagawa sila ng mga Facebook groups to trash talk
Okay.
about something or parang it's about different things. So depende rin sa group nila either sa college, sa high school, gano'n. So, yun yung na parang I wouldn't say na na-experience ko, pero na-witness ko of what they've been saying about other people, gano'n.
Yes. And how about Sir Brian? Especially sa stream, no? Maraming, I think, ganito.
Yes, totoo yan. Ang social media
Mm-mm.
ngayon, hindi na it's an healthy environment. Masyado ng toxic lahat ng tao. Akala mo alam nila isang bagay pero hindi nila alam.
In your
Marami
stream
silang
po ba?
masasabi,
Yeah.
pero hindi naman talaga Kaya sasabihin nila ganito ka. Kahit alam mo naman talaga yung tama, kahit mag-post ka ng tama, mali pa rin sa pananaw ng iba. Like, kumbaga sabihin na natin lagi, pag nakakita sila sa social media, kung magandang isang tao, babastusin. Kung gwapo, magbabastos din. Like, kung pangit, babastusin. Like, sobrang toxic na talaga. Kumbaga, hindi na siya, hindi na siya healthy mentally or talaga para sa tao. Kaya minsan talaga dapat iniiwasan na kung kakayanin. Ganun.
See, that's right, partner, no? Sobrang negative na ng pananaw natin with social media talaga. How about Miss Angelika Tagupa? Can we hear your voice po? What bad
So
experiences have you encountered online?
it's not me personally, pero there's this group of people that I know na parang uh, there's this group of people that's determined to give a fake persona about them. Pero so like ginawa ng group of people na to, they shared they shared screenshots tapos they're pretending na sila yung nagsabi ng mga bagay na to. So sa screenshots na yun, sa fake screenshots, they posted na yung bakla ganon, yung mga sobrang you'd know na hey, this is bad.
Yeah.
Pero the screenshots were actually fake. So pero they're screenshots. So people thought na they were legit. The pictures were gotten from a very reliable source. Pero sa totoo, they were just edited. Kaya, I guess, medyo nakakatakot na rin yun. Because in social media, you don't know which is true. And things are easily editable. So yun. I guess, ang takeaway dito is to know the sources of what you're reading, what you're being exposed to, and uh to tawag doon, to to be mindful of what you're taking in. Yun.
Yeah, and relate with that, no? I don't know if you're aware with yung hihingi siya ng load and then i-confirm mo sa family member mo na hindi naman pala totoo, pero yung person na yon, it's either dummy account or something. Usually nangyayari to sa text eh. Kunyari, loadan mo na 50 plus or 100. And then yung pala, hindi naman pala yung victim or yung family member mo yung actually victim dun sa nangyari. Kunyari, na-aksidente, tapos kailangan ng load para daw tawagan your family members and stuff, right?
Kumbaga
I
budol
don't know kung
partner, no?
na-experience niya. Yeah. Diba?
Yeah. See, partner, most of us have gone through some bad experiences online talaga, which should not be happen in the first place. Pero the thing here is, hindi talaga natin to maiiwasan, but if we try to look at the brighter side of things, social media can actually come in handy talaga. Kasi it is accessible na partner, no? If, lalo na sa mga LDR, like yung mga parents sa abroad or yung mga may magka-relationship. Parang with social media, you can easily communicate with your loved ones. So how about you, Miss Kayla Coseteng? Do you think social media is helpful?
Yes, very much so. Kasi yun nga, it's not only just for communication, you also get information from the internet. Pero it's just being cautious of what you say and what you see on the internet. Kasi yun nga, not everything is true on the internet. Because sometimes may fake news, minsan naki-ano lang sila for the clout just to say whatever it is, ganun. So it's just being mindful of what you search on the internet and what you say din. Kasi minsan, you don't know na makaka-offend ka ng mga tao, ganun. Kasi minsan, when you see it on your phone, a certain message, people will, how do you say this, parang, people will perceive it a different way, na hindi ka naman galit when you say that certain thing. Tapos other people will think na binabash mo yung certain tao or galit ka, ganun. So it's just being mindful of what you do and what you say. Yun lang.
Yes, that's right, partner. No, you have to be cautious talaga pagdating sa social media. Yung sabi nga nila, think before you speak. Kumbaga, pag-isipan mo muna yung mga dapat i-post mo online or i-comment mo online or yung mga opinions na ibibigay mo. Kasi hindi lang to makaka-apekto sa sarili mo, but makaka-apekto rin to sa ibang tao. How about Miss Marga? Can you share us some your ano po? Do you think social media is helpful?
Yes po. Kasi po sa
And what do you think?
kasi for example po sa YouTube, we can watch there po to learn. Ganun ano manonood po ng mga tutorials doon. Tapos pwede pong malaman kung paano po gawin yung gagawin.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. Thank you, Miss Marga. How about Miss Angelika? Do you think social media is helpful?
Yes naman, it's helpful kasi first of all, it helps academically kasi there are tons of sources online that you can now access. I mean, compared to our parents' time na sobrang you have to physically go to a library or something like that, be resourceful of your teachers, and yeah, you have to have a great network to have the privilege of being academically supported. Tapos, in terms of communication naman, sobrang helpful din niya. Let's compare it to nung bata pa ako. Like, we'd have to pay a lot just to call our relatives sa ibang bansa. Pero now we could just connect in Facebook, call them anytime, practically for free, just have to be connected. So yun, of course, it's helpful. Yeah, and sobrang nagiging developed ang world natin today because of the social media, the rise of social media. Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Angelica. That's right, no, partner. Sobrang accessible na talaga ng social media and yung technology talaga ngayon. And lastly naman, can we hear the voice of Sir Brian?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Both yes and no para sa akin. Nakakatulong siya dahil syempre nakaka-connect ka sa mga kaibigan mo, marami kang nalalaman na news, positive or negative man lang yan. And then No, dahil yun nga, I will stick to my, kung ano yung sinabi ko nung una. Masyado na kasing toxic ang mundo ng social media. So, baka mga bata, kung mga bata man ay nagamit na ng gadgets, tapos nagana sa Facebook, baka matuto sila magmura, bastos, at di rumispeto sa magulang. Ganun, para sa akin.
I think one of the reason din kung bakit marami
Yeah.
numerous people are having this detox online because of those, I think. Diba, partner?
That's right, partner, no?
So it's nice to hear your answers. It just proves that social media isn't a place for doing stuff that can hurt people, because there are still things that we can learn from it. And not just that, we can actually use it to our advantage as long as we know our limits and we keep our boundaries. Right, partner?
Very well, yes, partner. Very well said, no? I'm loving the flow of our conversation kasi even though we're talking about serious stuff, we still get to comfortably share yung mga experiences natin to one another, right, partner?
Totally true, partner. But whether social media is helpful or not for us, it's still to assess ourselves if we are aware of social media etiquettes that should be following. Consider an instance na people use their action because of lack of knowledge with regards of social media. And what's worst is that they have the tendency or the propensity to hurt people intentionally or unintentionally. Nagkakaroon ng act of ignorance, whether it is good or bad. Minsan hindi yung action na ginawa natin through media, tapos parang yes, we know, alam natin na mali siya, tapos ginawa pa rin natin. Nagkakaroon ng act of ignorance. Nagkakaroon ng excuse na hindi ko po alam na na-post ko yung ganito, ganyan. Right, partner?
Yes, exactly, partner. No, we get it. That's inevitable, but we can try to at least lessen it, diba, partner?
Yeah. And how we do that, partner?
Well, first, we can avoid making mistakes by, of course, make sure natin that we're familiar with the social media etiquettes. And now, if I may ask our guest, are you guys familiar with the do's and don'ts of social media? And if so, can you give us some examples? Um,
Anyone?
anyone? Kindly unmute lang po if you want to answer. Okay, so partner, parang walang atang gustong may sumagot, tayo nang tumawag. So first, let's ask naman uh, Miss Marga.
I'm
Are
not
you familiar with the do's and don'ts po of social media? Parang a
I-
little background lang or
I'm not quite familiar po, pero I think I have an idea for the do's and don'ts po. For the do's po, we can use social
yes. Can
media
you give us
for passive activity. Well, for the don'ts po, people should not take advantage on it and scam people. Ayun.
yes, partner, no? That's right. So how about Miss Angelika? Are you familiar with the do's and don'ts of social media?
I guess naman, uh, I think it really boils down to being respectful online and being mindful of what you intake and what you post, and uh, thinking about how it can affect other people and how it can affect you yourself. So ayun, so don't do be respectful of other people online, and don't share or interact with questionable content, and you know just clear yourself from unreliable sources, unreliable information.
Yes. Exactly, no, partner. Tama yung mga sinabi ni Miss Angelica, yung mga do's and don'ts of social media. And how about Sir Brian? Can we
Yes,
hear your
yes.
voice, Sir Brian?
Sa do's, ang alam ko lang is be respectful. And sa don't, ako, naisip ko lang to. Don't drink and post. Or maybe call, baka malay mo, makapag-post ka ng kung ano mang bastos or minsan matawagan mo pa ex mo. Sabi mo, mahal mo pa, iyak-iyak ka dyan. Ganun. Yun lang naisip ko.
That's okay.
Okay, lastly, Miss Kayla Coseteng.
I think same lang din sa kanila na yung do's is being respectful, mindful, and responsible na for what you say. Kasi sometimes what you say can be taken against you as well. Na kahit maliit lang na bagay, people would take it into bigger actions. Like, yun nga, that they can take one small thing into a big negative like impact. Ganun. Tapos for don'ts, don't say everything that you feel on the internet. Yung mga sa Twitter na parang grabe yung mga emotional stuff na sinasabi nila about their lives and parang they keep their private lives out there to the public. So minsan there's just some things that we have to keep private and personal for your own sake as well. So ayun lang, parang just to keep the boundaries of where you should post things online and where you should keep things more personal to yourself. So yeah, just being responsible about what you post on social media and respectful din sa mga ibang tao.
Yeah, thank you for your answers, and I'm actually quite amazed that most of you already have the knowledge on this. But still, we need to acknowledge that I have different perception about this, and it always depends on the person how to utilize social media, right, partner?
I agree. I agree with that, partner, no? Even I, as a host talaga, I learned a lot of things from our participants, no? And I realized na it's importante talaga na i-take into consideration talaga natin yung mga miscommunication na natural naman talaga na nangyayari. And especially sa circumstances like this, right? So what we can do is to luwakan syempre yung isipan natin sa mga gantong bagay and learn to ask and express your opinions in a non-offensive manner. Right, partner?
Yes. Okay. Now that we have already talked about the relevance of social media, we will proceed to the main topic of the discussion.
And what would that be, partner?
It's all about antisocial internet behavior, partner. And I know some of our guests have little no knowledge about antisocial internet behavior, but no worries. We give you a brief background about it before we ask anything.
So, ano nga ba yung antisocial internet behavior? Well, partner, to give you an idea and our dear participants, this is not about being introvert nor unwanting to interact with other people online, but it's not simple as that kasi antisocial internet behavior is one of our societal problems na kailangan talaga i-address sa panahon ngayon, lalo na this pandemic, 'di ba, through online na talaga yung mga transactions natin, gano'n. Yon. And yung antisocial internet behavior kasi is a collection of illegal activities done through online that harms people intentionally, right?
Yes, and to give you an example, cyberbullying, scamming, posting unauthorized information online are some of that is included. In fact, some of us here may already encountered this, and that just prove that antisocial internet behavior is the root cause of bad experiences on the internet or just misdemeanor activities done online, right?
That's right, partner. Now, okay. So that's right, no? And if you will remember earlier, we talked about those bad experiences on the internet, and which most of them could have been avoided if people are aware of social media etiquettes. Thus, importante talaga na pag-usapan natin yung mga gantong bagay kasi it gives us the idea of what impact na pwedeng matamaan neto sa mga tao, right? And kapag nag-exhibit ka ng mga gantong behaviors. Right, partner?
That's right, partner. Now, if I may ask, just as our guest, are really into our discussion as much as I am, can you give some examples of antisocial internet behavior? Uh, Sir Brian, can you give? Oh,
Antisocial,
hello.
parang mga nang bubuli, ganon. Tama ba ako? Hello?
Yes, yes. Hello.
Hello again?
Hello?
Hello.
Rinig
Oh,
ka
yes.
po.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yung mga nang backstab, yung mga nagsasabi ng mga na hindi mo kaya to. Tapos, if you're posting about mental health and sad post, sasabihin nila, nagdadrama ka lang, wala kang ganun ba? Ang antisocial?
Actually po, yes. Antisocial internet behavior po didn't have a rating scale in which we can answer or prove that this person has an antisocial internet behavior. Actually, you'll be considered as antisocial internet behavior. Kasi first of all, anong reason for you to do that action, di ba? Kung bashing and other stuff, body shaming, right? So, ayun, if you've done this once or twice in your life, you're considered as antisocial internet behavior. That you have this antisocial internet behavior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pero sa akin ginawa. So, yun.
Yeah.
So, yun ang masasabi ko. So, sorry.
Yeah. So how about Kayla?
I think just cyberbullying in general, talagang having that antisocial internet behavior. Tapos, yung sa fake news, I'm not sure if this counts, but catfishing. Yung fake yung ano profile mo and yung information mo about yourself is not you. You pretend to be someone else, ganon. So, ayun.
Dami accounts. So how about Miss Margaret?
I think same lang din po. Sharing fake news and pretending to be someone po.
Yeah, and lastly, Miss Angelika Tagupa.
Yeah, yung mga na-encounter ko is mga cyberbullying. If you read the news comments, mga news outlets, tapos you read their comments, sobrang toxic. Like, to the point na nag-threaten sila magpatayan. Medyo, it makes you think, no, are people really that shallow now, or are they just trolling? Are they just say these as dummies or using fake accounts? Tapos, another thing na I've encountered, like I've seen, but I haven't encountered, is yung mga nagpo-post ng preference of children in adult context.
Yeah.
So medyo naging prevalent kasi siya nung pandemic eh. I think it's a form of cyberbullying din na kasi yung it's child, minor siya eh. Tapos these adults are sexualizing and yun, sobrang it's not very it's not a good thing to encounter online. Isa siya sa mga masasamang bungad ng social media, I guess.
It's actually right now, partner, and it seems to me that they are absorbing our discussion, right? Which is really great, but at the same time, upon hearing your examples, I've come to realize that people online often take advantage talaga of others just because it's online nga. But little did they know, it still has an impact to the other person, no matter how small the damage may seem. Right, partner?
Yes, partner. And because of how overwhelming this issue is, we often get stuck thinking how we can resolve this, di ba, partner?
Yeah, and it may look really difficult, which it is naman, but we can still do something to reduce it.
And how would that be, partner?
Well, you see, partner, even in situation like this, we view things as difficult, and but still we can still see a silver lining. Whereas if we all work together, like tayong mga Generation C, tayong mga ano doon, mga tao sa Generation Z, especially we can actually sort things out talaga. We can raise awareness about antisocial internet behavior and educate yung sarili natin sa mga social media etiquettes to avoid exhibiting yung mga ganitong behaviors nga, like yung mga sinabi ng mga participants natin. And of course, yung sinabi ni Miss Kayla, agree talaga ako dun sa catfishing na yan, yung parang nagpe-pretend ka to be someone else. Like yung, may issue nga niyan before yung sa Twitter, yung parang, ano ata siya, trans siya. Tapos parang, naloko siya nung lalaki kasi kinatfish niya na siya yun. Right? Ayun.
That's interesting, partner. But let's see if our guests will agree with you. How about Miss Margaret? Do you agree po ba? That they agree that we should address antisocial internet behavior?
Yes po. So we can somehow reduce the rising number of people being scammed.
I think one of the reasons then is passing the tension, the media tension to other people, or the panic, to for them to not to be in panic, diba? So how about as Sir Brian, at marami siyang experience, I guess. You agree po ba that antisocial internet behavior that we should address?
Yes, kinakailangan dahil una para mabantayan natin ang sarili natin. Dahil marami sa ating hindi man lang nakaka-catfish or mga nafi-fake dyan, na mga nag-ghost. Sabihin na natin yung mga iba, nauuto na scam, ganun. Yung iba naman nababash. Yung iba nananakawan ng profile, ginagamit para manloko ng iba. Siguro para maiwasan talaga yung mga ganun, kailangan natin i-address to. And with the fact na karamihan kasi ng mga Pilipino wala silang pakialam sa mga ganun, wala pakialam sa mga ganitong bagay. Nilinisip nila pagkakakitaan lang nila to. Easy money kumbaga para sa kanila pag ginawa nila yung mga ganitong bagay. So siguro pag na-address natin ito ng maayos at sana tumino, kumbaga. Siguro yung social media natin is magle-less toxic na, magle-less na yung mga ganung tao. Like, kumbaga, pag nahalata nyo ng na-scam kayo or na report agad, kumbaga. Para lang matigil.
See, we all have the same goal, partner, and I'm glad that we really do, especially now at this time of this pandemic wherein most transactions nga na nagaganap is done through online talaga, like online shopping, online learning, online banking, lahat na online, right?
Yeah, and it's really nice to know that we're on the same page on this. And since we've come to the point already, I think it's best that we tackle our proposed solution in battling antisocial internet behavior, which is nurturing media literacy skills. Sorry.
But first, partner, we need to define what media literacy is for our guests who may be unfamiliar with the term. So, ano nga ba yung media literacy? Media literacy. So, media literacy is the ability of a person to identify different types of media and its meaning.
Exactly, partner. But not only that, media literacy is also the
Literacy.
ability of, yeah, sorry. It's the ability of the person to assess if the source is legitimate or not. In that way, media literate person can avoid being a victim online.
This is actually timely, no, partner? Kasi nowadays, people tend to believe everything they see on social media talaga without even checking if they were getting the source from a, they were getting the news from a legitimate source talaga. Like for example, yung mga parents natin, which kadalasan nasa mga baby boomers or sa mga Gen X, sila yung mga kadalasan na biktima ng mga ganito eh, mga fake news, no? Yung, actually, ano nga eh, parang there's, there's this instance talaga na parang yung mom ko, parang, lahat na nakikita niya sa social media talaga, pinapaniwalaan niya. Like, kung may nag-send lang sa GC nila na ganitong link, isasend niya na talaga sa mga other GCs yung ganon, which is hindi naman kapani-paniwala kasi hindi to ano from a legitimate source and parang how do you paano mo ba sasabihin? Parang
There's a lot of source online.
parang that's right. And yung mga ganto talagang tao, they fall victim to the hands of these perpetrators talaga, partner, no?
That's true, partner. Now, may I ask what are your thoughts about this, Miss Angelika? Do you think media literacy is relevant, and so how?
Of course, of course, it's relevant kasi at this stage, I think we're only going to develop with with the internet in our society because technologically we are already relying on it. So I guess in the future years, kailangan talaga na it's really going to develop with us. Tapos I I I encountered this documentary film na it's called The Social Dilemma, and it's a great intake on social media literacy and how social media is the way it is and what happened because of human interaction. So yung mga Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, all those sources of media, the creators they actually want want people to stop using social media because they're seeing their creations are becoming are being used for kunyari, yun nga, so sobrang used for not its intended purpose, like yung mga ads na may kita mo, it's going to shape what you're gonna do. Tapos yung mga content na kikita mo, kunyari, sa news na if you're more likely to react to these types of news, it's what's going to appear on your feed. So, kung sinasabi mo na yung fake news, if you're very react a lot to fake news, mas madadami yung makikita mo dyan. That's how the algorithm works. So I guess, of course, everything is not perfect. And ang social media, hindi naman perfect talaga. That's because man is not perfect. Pero social media literacy can really help us and help the society to develop with a more healthy interactions within social media.
Yeah, parang nagiging medium talaga yung social media in doing crimes. I think that's what Miss Angelica wants to articulate. So, how about Miss Kayla?
Agree din ako
You-
sa akin ni Angelica na especially within this generation, nag-evolve na yung social media and yung pwedeng gawin on the internet even more. So the more evolved it is, the easier the access that people can get. And it makes it also easier naman loko on the internet. So yun nga, it's very necessary for people to be aware of yung media literacy for not just yung society ngayon, pati yung younger generations and further generations to come na hindi ma-further develop yung toxic internet behavior. Tapos para din mag-guide din yung mga tao to the right path na hindi for negativity, toxic stuff on the internet, just to properly guide them kung ano dapat yung tama. Because, there's nothing wrong with speaking your mind because lots of people, parang when people bash other people because of how they act on the internet, they say na parang, I'm just speaking my mind, it's freedom of speech, blah, blah. So there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just, like I said earlier, being respectful and responsible with what we say. Kasi, yun nga, you don't know na one small thing that you say can affect so much people on the internet. Kasi parang the whole world has just that internet on their hand nila sa laptop. So talagang being very mindful and respectful with the internet. Tas yung media literacy, yun nga, very much needed siya. Lalo na ngayon, especially sa generation ngayon. So, yun.
Yeah. So, in relate with that then, I think yung other people has the freedom to post online, and then kapag kunyari na-identify mo yung person who is bashing you in person, I mean in personal, you had interaction with her or with him, nagiging iba yung ugali. I mean, there's a different arena between the reality and the social media, right? So how about Miss Margaret? Do you think that media literacy is relevant?
Yes po, because media literacy may help prevent people to becoming a victim online po.
Thank you for your answers. How about you, partner? Baka may gusto ka pang idagdag?
Wala naman, partner. So, tama naman lahat ng mga sinabi ng mga participants natin na we have to be cautious and respectful and to be aware sa mga sinasabi natin within the social media. And it's really eye-opening how most of us here have been a victim of social media, not just once, but twice, but multiple times already. But surely we've taken our lessons from those experiences and hopefully hindi na mauulit, right, partner?
Yes, partner. Pero I wonder, partner, if nurturing media literacy skills is effective in reducing antisocial internet behavior. Like, if we give more attention on nurturing media literacy skills, will it be affect our today's way of using social media?
Well, I think partner, no, for me personally, yes talaga. Kasi pag
Yeah.
nurture natin yung media literacy skills natin, we can avoid yung mga AIB, like yung antisocial internet behaviors na mga ina-exhibit dito sa mga online platforms na to. How about
I agree with you,
how about you?
partner.
How about you, partner?
Uh, Akin, I agree. It needs to be nurtured. Kasi this is the only way na rin talaga for us to find legitimate sources and to be cautious in sharing those news, especially news, no? Kasi sometimes it is outdated na rin, and then it can increase the anxiety of the person using social media while scrolling instead of, I think, relaxing or using for entertainment. Nagiging reason pa para magkaroon ng anxiety yung person, right? So how about Mr. Berga, right? So in your way, hello, Sir
Again,
Brian,
ano po yung question niya?
parang if we give more attention in nurturing media literary skills, will it be actually affect our today's way of using social media?
It will be, oo, gagana siya. Kung gagamitin siya ng maayos. Kung isa sa buhay, kung iisipin ng tao na yung media literacy nila is importante talaga. Kahit isipin na natin ng ganito. Maraming tao na, oo nga, nung nakaraan na hindi pa nagpa-pandemic, marami na nagsabi na media literacy is kailangan. Pero hindi pa rin siya na implement o sabihin natin na implement kahit pa paano, pero parang wala ring nagawa. Pero ngayong online classes, ngayong lahat tayo nasa loob ng bahay, lahat na puro cellphone, gadgets, computer, laptop, lahat ng gadgets, yun lang ang nasa harapan natin. I think na ngayon yung panahon talaga dapat na need na siya mas lalong patibayin, palakasin, implement sa ating dahil ngayon na, ganun na ang mundo natin ngayon eh. Doon na tayo tumatakbo dahil sa pandemic. Kaya siguro, yung media literacy natin is kailangan talagang yung game. Kumbaga. Ayun lang para sa akin.
About Miss Kayla?
For me, agree din naman ako. Oo, na necessary din siya na pag-nurture ng media literacy towards antisocial internet behavior. Kasi, parang, what's this? Like I said earlier, parang mag-guide din yung mga tao. And it's not just the nurturing of media literacy. I think another a big factor for helping parang maiwasan yung antisocial internet behavior is yung tao, yung effort ng people. Kasi tayo-tayo lang naman din yung parang we're the only ones that can really do something about the social media. Like tayo din yung nag-release ng content, yung mga sinasabi sa internet. So parang naano din yung saying na just because you don't experience it doesn't mean you're not going to be able to understand. So hindi mo kailangan i-experience na maging victim ng cyberbullying, to be affected by yung mga bashers for you to understand how the internet works or how to understand people. So it's just parang coming together as one para ma-help improve din yung mga victims of those people na naapekto sa mga pag-bash, pag-cyberbully, mga catfishing victims and stuff like that. So it's not just about people being mindful about the media literacy, it's also the effort. Kasi, parang you understand nga media literacy, you understand yung AIB, pero hindi mo naman ginagawa. You don't do something about it. Parang wala ka namang effort in helping other people also. It's not just about yourself din. Kasi you have to help other people in society din kasi para just to help each other evolve and develop even more. So, ayun din, effort din sa mga tao. Yun din yan.
Okay, parang understanding without applying isn't understanding at all. Parang ganun lang. So, yeah, I agree with you with that. Pero, ayun nga, parang other people talaga neglect na lang or defer this awareness even though that they already know, especially in our generation. Pero, how about Miss Angelica? What are your thoughts in your chair?
Uh, yeah, awareness is really important sa mga consumers ng social media. Pero, ayun, if aware ka, if you yourself aware, pero hindi mo kasi makakontrol yung ibang tao. Like, if they want to cyberbully, they'll do it. I mean, you won't be able to control. Kahit ilang beses mo pa sabihan na, oh, medial literacy and all those stuff. So, personally, I think the solution is yung mga nag-regulate ng social media to they themselves dapat yung mag-filter ng mga content online. So that's my personal take on this. Pero syempre, important din na literate ang mga tao with the media dating. So it's just like I see it as a band-aid solution. The bigger solution could be to have the moderators do the actions themselves. Yeah.
Okay. So, how about Miss Margaret?
Yes po. Just like what Ate just said po, kapag na-nurture po yung media literacy sa ganitong panahon, mababawasan po yung mga nasa cyberbully and scamming po. Tapos kailangan po natin yung media literacy sa ganitong panahon po.
That's a really great answers, no, partner. And actually, I agree with them talaga kasi na the change starts within yourself talaga. And I'm so glad now we have the chance to hear your opinions about this matter. If you come to think about it, guys, di lang ang audience ang may benefit from this podcast or kayong mga participants. But we as a host then also learn a lot from hearing your opinions and your answers about this matter.
And thank you so much for attending our podcast. It's an honor to have you guys. And for our audience from our YouTube channel, we want to let you know that it is important to address antisocial internet behavior because it will help us create a better environment online and make a better, safer place for all generations.
Now, to finally end our podcast, again, thank you for attending our session, and we hope that you learn a lot. And hopefully, although we're ending this won't be the end of our goal of reducing yung anti-social internet
Okay,
behavior.
to our viewers out there, don't forget to like this video, click the subscribe button and our channel, and leave a comment about your take topic.
Also, don't forget to follow our official page in Facebook. Again, I'm Jazz,
And I'm Christian, and we're your
and
hosts
we're
for
your hosts
today's
for today
Bellwether
for
Group.
that will be better
That
online.
will be
Bye.
like
Bye, guys. Thank you.
documentation